There's something strangely heavy about an unused chair. It just sits there, quietly holding the shape of someone who never returned, or someone you never became. People think it's just furniture, but deep down, you know it's a mirror, a reflection of the spaces inside you that you've been too afraid to enter. Sometimes the chair is empty because someone left, sometimes because someone never showed up, and sometimes because you forgot how to sit in your own life. You pass by it every day, a small flinch in your chest, a hesitance you don't name, because touching that chair means touching the memory you've kept frozen in that corner. But one day, without drama, something shifts. You look at it, and for the first time you ask, what part of me have I left unused? And that's when healing begins. Not when you sit, not when you move it, but when you finally acknowledge the quiet ache behind its emptiness. In the end, the unused chair was never waiting for someone else. It was waiting for you to return to the parts of yourself you've been avoiding and finally take your place in your own life again. Windows reflect the inner conflict between desire for connection and fear of exposure. Loneliness grows in this unresolved tension. Standing by a window often means wanting two opposite things at once: to be seen and to remain unseen. This conflict is deeply human. Connection requires vulnerability. Distance preserves control. Windows offer the illusion of both. You feel close without being exposed, present without being accountable. But the emotional system cannot live in illusion forever. It begins to ache for something more embodied. The conflict intensifies. Step outside and risk rejection. Stay inside and accept longing. Many choose the familiar pain over the uncertain one. Loneliness becomes predictable. Exposure does not. Psychologically, this is not avoidance. It is self-protection shaped by past experience. The mind remembers moments when reaching out cost too much, so it settles for seeing instead of touching. But unresolved longing does not disappear. It turns inward. It becomes heaviness, restlessness, a quiet grief without a clear cause. Windows become emotional mirrors. They reflect both hope and restraint. They show what could be, while reinforcing why it hasn't happened. The longer the conflict remains unnamed, the deeper the loneliness feels. Not because connection is impossible, but because it is constantly deferred. Loneliness through windows is not about the outside world. It is about how presence has been negotiated within. There comes a moment, often quiet, when the realization settles. The loneliness was never caused by the window. The window only revealed something already there. It becomes clear that observation has replaced participation, not because of incapability, but because of habit, a learned rhythm of stepping back, a comfort with distance that once served a purpose. This realization is not dramatic. It does not arrive with answers, only clarity. You begin to notice how often life is watched instead of entered, how safety has been prioritized over closeness, how being untouched has been mistaken for being okay. The window remains the same, but its meaning shifts. It is no longer a symbol of exclusion. It becomes a gentle indicator, a place where awareness begins. Loneliness softens when it is understood, not cured, not solved, simply recognized as a signal rather than a flaw. The mind relaxes its self-judgment. The heart feels less defective. Nothing changes outwardly yet, but inwardly, the story loosens its grip. Healing does not mean abandoning distance, but redefining presence. Windows can coexist with connection. Integration does not require tearing down walls. It requires allowing windows to be what they were meant to be. Passageways for light, not substitutes for life. Loneliness eases when distance is no longer the default. When observation becomes a pause, not a position. The nervous system slowly learns that closeness does not always overwhelm. That presence does not always demand performance. That being seen can be gentle. Windows still exist. They still frame the world, but they stop carrying emotional weight. They become neutral again, quiet, transparent. You may still stand by them sometimes, but no longer disappear behind them. The world outside remains imperfect. Connection remains complex, but the glass no longer defines where life happens. Light enters, and this time it stays.